Hollywood is always bright and shiny, but behind the perfect smiles and glittering red carpets are little-known stories of love, acceptance, and courage. You might be surprised to know that these 15 top black celebrities have LGBTQ+ children. Despite living in the spotlight, they face emotional challenges when it comes to protecting and supporting their children to be themselves. Some stories will touch your heart, while others will make you rethink the concept of unconditional love. Which one will touch your heart the most? Find out and share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on Hollywood's unsung secrets. Will Smith is one of the most powerful stars in Hollywood. From Prince of Bel-Air to blockbusters like Independence Day, Men in Black and King Richard, he is not only a symbol of success but also a model of resilience and charisma. However, Will's most profound role is perhaps not on screen, but in real life, the role of a father who always respects and nurtures authenticity in his children. This is most clearly shown through the journey of Willow Smith, his talented and strong daughter. Famous since the age of 9 with the hit Whip My Hair, Willow soon faced the pressure of fame. But instead of letting the spotlight define her, she chose to write her own identity, becoming a pioneering voice for gender freedom and non-traditional beauty. In 2021 on the show Red Table Talk, Willow publicly came out as bisexual and shared frankly about her views on non-traditional love. Despite mixed reviews, her parents, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, remained steadfast in their daughter's support, creating a space of understanding and freedom for the family. Willow has since established herself in the alternative R&B and rock music scene and has become a fashion icon with her unconventional, genderless style. For Will, accompanying Willow has been a journey of learning and growth, a testament that true power lies not in control, but in unconditional love. His greatest legacy may not be his acting, but in being a father who listens to and respects his children. Dwyane Wade is a basketball legend, a 3-time NBA champion, 13-time All-Star and Olympic gold medalist. Known as the soul of the Miami Heat, he built his legacy with spectacular dunks and an unbreakable competitive spirit. Yet beyond the court, Wade's greatest victories come from his love and devotion to his family. Among his 4 children, daughter Zaya. Wade brought the family name new meaning when she came out as transgender at just 12 years old. Instead of hiding, Wade and his wife, actress Gabrielle Union, chose to embrace and celebrate their child becoming symbols of love and acceptance within the black community. Wade openly admitted, "I don't have all the answers, but I love my child unconditionally." Since then, Zaya has become an inspiration for young people who dare to live authentically, and Wade has been honored as a father who redefines masculinity through empathy and courage. For him, the greatest championship will always be unconditional love. In the history of basketball, few names have been as flamboyant as Earvin "Magic" Johnson, with 5 NBA championships, 3 MVP awards, and leading the legendary Showtime era of the Los Angeles Lakers. He revolutionized the game with his talent and charisma. Off-the-court, Magic is an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and HIV/AIDS awareness leader. But his most significant triumph came not from basketball, but from his love for his son, E.J. Johnson. When E.J. came out in 2013, Magic responded with unwavering support, saying, "E.J., we love you for who you are." In the macho world of sports, those words were a symbolic breakthrough. With the encouragement of his parents, E.J. rose to become a fashion icon, television star, and LGBTQ youth advocate. Magic, who bravely revealed his HIV status, once again used his influence to break down stereotypes, proving that true power lies in love and understanding. For him, the greatest champion is family. Richard Pryor is considered one of the greatest icons of American comedy, with his frank, fearless style touching on sensitive issues of race politics and human nature. He redefined stand-up comedy in the 1970s and 1980s. His influence spanned generations, from Eddie Murphy to Chris Rock to Dave Chappelle. But beyond the glamour and laughs, Pryor's legacy is also carried on through his daughter Rain Pryor, who has written her own courageous chapter. Born in 1969, Rain came out as bisexual in 1995, a time when LGBTQ openness was rare and risky. Instead of hiding, she chose to confront her story, turning it into art through stage plays, essays, and her memoir, Jokes, My Father Never Taught Me. In it, she tells the story of her search for identity between the shadow of her legendary father and the desire to be herself. If Richard Pryor broke racial stereotypes with laughter, Rain broke gender barriers with truth. Two generations, same spirit, daring to live truthfully, daring to say what others are afraid to say. And that is the deepest legacy of the Pryor family. Marlon Wayans has made millions of audiences laugh in classic comedies from Scary Movie to White Chicks. But behind the witty comedian is a loving and sincere father. In 2019, during Pride Month, Marlon publicly posted a tribute to his daughter, Amay Zachary Wayans, who is a member of the LGBTQ community. Under a photo of Amay wearing rainbow shoes, he wrote, "Congratulations to my pride and joy. I wouldn't change a thing about you. Love you to the moon, around the sun, across the galaxies and back." The post quickly went viral, receiving both praise and criticism, but Marlon was undeterred. "I'm a father first, a celebrity second," he affirmed. That message transcended social media. It became a reminder that parenting isn't about shaping your child into a certain standard, but about loving and celebrating them as they are. Amay is now a symbol of courage, and Marlon Wayans, the man who once made the world laugh, has proven that unconditional love is the greatest performance of his life. Isaiah Thomas is a symbol of determination and indomitable spirit in basketball history. Despite being only 6 feet 1 inch tall, he became a legend for the Detroit Pistons, a 2-time NBA champion and a 12-time All-Star. But his most cherished legacy lies not in his accurate shots or glorious titles, but in his role as a father. His son, Zeke Thomas, born in 1989, chose a different path, becoming a DJ and artist and openly gay. In 2017, Zeke bravely shared his story of sexual assault, turning his pain into a voice for the LGBTQ community, especially men of color who are rarely heard. Throughout that journey, Isaiah was always by his son's side with quiet but steadfast support. He did not try to define Zeke by stereotypes, but let him write his own story. It is this tolerance that has allowed Zeke to shine, becoming an inspiration of courage and resilience. Isaiah Thomas proves that true strength is not only demonstrated through victory on the field, but also through the ability to love and accept within one's own family. Cheryl Elizabeth Clemens, better known by her stage name Coco, was one of the legendary R&B singers of the 1990s. As the lead singer of the girl group SWV Sisters with Voices, she left a lasting impression with hits like Weak Right Here, Human Nature, and Rain. With over 25 million records sold, SWV became one of the best-selling girl groups of all time, paving the way for a generation of young black women in popular music. But behind the spotlight, Coco is most admired for her role as a loving and courageous mother. Her son Jalen Clemens is not a celebrity, but his journey of coming out is powerful. In 2016, Jalen came out as a member of the LGBTQ+ community, a courageous move, especially for a celebrity child. Coco chose love over prejudice, proudly calling her child her most precious gift, and affirming that her child's identity is something to be celebrated. While many choose to remain silent to maintain their image, Coco's candor has become an inspiration. She is not only a musical icon, but also a model of modern motherhood where true light comes from the heart of a mother who dares to love and be proud of her child. Jada Pinkett Smith has long been known as a multi-talented Hollywood artist, from her breakout role in A Different World to blockbusters like The Matrix Reloaded and Set It Off. She has established herself as a strong and influential actress, in addition to acting. Jada is also a producer-host of Red Table Talk and an activist who is always ready to tackle sensitive topics. But perhaps her most important and moving role takes place within her own family, as she accompanies her daughter, Willow Smith, on her journey of identity exploration. In 2021, on an episode of Red Table Talk, Willow came out as bisexual and shared her views on non-monogamous relationships. While the public debated, Jada remained calm and understanding. She affirmed that the most important thing in a family is trust and acceptance, and she honored her daughter's honesty and courage. Jada's open and supportive attitude not only gave Willow the confidence to express herself, but also inspired many other parents. Overcoming prejudice. Especially in the Black community, Jada has proven that love is stronger than any judgment. For her parenting is not about imposing, but listening and accompanying. Jada Pinkett Smith's greatest legacy may not be just her brilliant career, but also her example of a mother who chose compassion and unconditional love as the guiding principles for her life. Cynthia Bailey first entered the spotlight as a famous supermodel in the 1990s, appearing on the covers of top magazines and walking major fashion runways. She later became a familiar face to television audiences through the show The Real Housewives of Atlanta, where her elegance and intelligence helped her build an image that was both classy and approachable. But behind that brilliant career, the role that Cynthia is most admired for is that of a loving and understanding mother. In 2019, her daughter Noelle Robinson bravely shared on television that she was attracted to both men and women. Instead of showing surprise or confusion, Cynthia simply said, "If I meet a girl who makes me happy, that's great." That simple moment moved millions of viewers. In a society where many LGBTQ+ children still face silence or rejection, Cynthia's words resonate as an affirmation of unconditional love. Since then, she has been openly supporting her daughter on social media and in interviews, proving that love is not just a temporary word, but a value of life. Cynthia Bailey has turned a private family moment into a humane message. Being a parent is not about imposing, but accepting and protecting children as they truly are. For her, the brightest light is not on the stage, but when she illuminates her daughter's journey of freedom and pride. Michael Jordan has long been considered a symbol of greatness, the man who changed the world of basketball with 6 NBA championships, legendary dunks, and an unmatched fighting spirit. But behind the halo of sports and billion-dollar brand contracts, his most meaningful victory lies in his role as a father when he accompanied his daughter Jasmine Jordan on her journey to being true to herself. Jasmine, born in 1992, grew up in the huge shadow of her father's fame, but still quietly pursued her passion in the field of sports marketing. In 2023, she made the public notice when she publicly came out as a lesbian at an event in New York, declaring, "I don't have to hide anymore. It's time to be true to myself." That short but brave statement has spread as an encouragement for freedom and acceptance. Michael Jordan, known for his steely determination on the court, showed another strength, understanding, and unconditional love. Although it took him a while to adjust, he quickly became a strong support system for his daughter, even taking the initiative to learn more about the LGBTQ+ community. His support not only helped Jasmine gain confidence, but also extended the Jordan family legacy beyond sports, where love, acceptance, and kindness are celebrated. For Michael, the greatest victory is not winning a championship, but raising a family that is united by honesty and love. Robert Sylvester Kelly, or R. Kelly, was once considered the king of R&B in the 1990s, with classic hits like I Believe I Can Fly and Bump and Grind. He sold millions of records worldwide and defined an era of sensual, soulful music. However, outside the spotlight, the R. Kelly family is tied to a very different story. The story of his son, Jay Kelly, who chose to be himself despite the prejudice and pressure of his father's fame. Born in 2000, Jay Kelly is the son of R. Kelly and dancer and TV star Drea Kelly. At just 14 years old, he made headlines when he publicly came out as a transgender boy on social media, a simple but powerful statement. Instead of hiding, Jay says he wants to live his truth and no longer be afraid. While the public was divided between support and criticism, Jay continued to move forward, using fashion and music to express himself and inspiring many other transgender youth. R. Kelly's initial reaction was controversial because of his distance, but that only highlighted the bravery of Jay, who chose to build his own identity with the full support of his mother and family. While R. Kelly's reputation was gradually overshadowed by scandals, Jay Kelly shone as a symbol of courage and freedom. He proved that his true legacy lies not in fame, but in daring to be true to himself even in the face of the world. Khary Payton may not be as famous as NBA superstars or music legends, but his talent and depth in art have helped him touch the hearts of audiences, with his role as King Ezekiel in The Walking Dead and voicing Cyborg in Teen Titans. Khary has affirmed himself as a versatile artist, always dedicated to his profession. However, off-screen, his most meaningful role is not as a king or a superhero, but as a loving and understanding father. In 2020, Khary moved fans when he publicly introduced his son Carter as transgender. On Instagram, he wrote, "This is my son, one of the bravest and happiest people I have ever known." That simple sentence contains the power of unconditional love. While many parents are still confused about the concept of gender identity, Khary chose to accept and be proud of his son. He believes that parenting is not about controlling your children, but about creating space for them to be themselves. His simple message resonates far and wide, proving that the greatest power lies not in fame but in love expressed sincerely. Helen Folasade Adu, known worldwide as Sade, has captivated audiences for decades with her smooth, soulful voice and timeless hits, such as Smooth Operator, No Ordinary Love, and By Your Side. Her music is elegant, calm, and mysterious, making Sade one of the most beloved icons in music history. Despite her notoriously private nature, there is one aspect of her life that has particularly touched her fans: her unconditional love and support for her transgender son, Isaac Theo Adu. Born in 1996 under the name Mikaelia Adu, Isaac grew up in the spotlight of his legendary mother, but chose to stay true to himself. In 2016, he began his transition journey, and in 2019, after completing surgery, Isaac shared a heartfelt thank you to his mother on Instagram. "Thank you for being there for me for the past 6 months. Mom, I love you more than the world." While Sade rarely speaks out in public, her loving silence and steadfast presence in her son's journey speaks volumes. For her support is not ostentatious but expressed through deep, quiet love. Now, Isaac is not only living his true self, but also becoming a strong voice for the transgender community. And like his mother, he spreads his sincerity. Except instead of music, he uses his own story. Should celebrities be brave enough to publicly support their children, even if it means sacrificing their image, or is a quiet love enough? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to watch more touching stories.